Let us now move on to see the impact of getting a feedback, acting on the feedback to make it usable for the organization. We are going to design a feedback loop for our DPDP governance. Welcome to my YouTube channel where you daily see new content on data privacy, and we are going to talk about feedback mechanism for DPDP governance. So what are we saying here? Governance could be two types. One, a static governance, which happens in a lot of organizations, and some of the things do need that also. For example, if it's a tax compliance, where every invoice has a tax component that automatically gets fed into the system and tax has to be deposited at the end of the month. There's nothing very live about it. It has to be like that, right? So it's sort of a static governance where we say policies are written once. Now we are talking about privacy. We have written the policies. We have asked people to implement them. We have created the playbooks. We have asked them to use them. What is happening? New things are coming up, new scenarios are coming up. Privacy domain is still evolving to a large extent. So mistakes are being repeated because we are not looking at the evolving areas. We are just looking at done. Okay, move on. A live governance or a living governance would mean that we are learning from the reality. And ideally, I am sure this should be done. That once in a week there is a review meeting which says what are the new things that we have observed during this week, so that they can be put into the part of those FAQs, those playbooks. The decisions can be readjusted depending on the experience, and as the cases come in, we evolve our systems, we evolve our governance systems. DPDP governance has to be adaptive. Where does feedback come from? Well, feedback comes from your own learning. That is first thing. You're not learning. It happens. Until unless you've decided you don't want to see beyond your SOW, then of course you have no learnings. But when you are implementing something, when you are using something, when you are answering to someone, and it happens in day-to-day life, that person is asking me something. I have an answer, I have given him the answer. What if he would have asked me in a different way, slight more information? Am I prepared? How do I prepare myself? So a data principal sends in a request. Am I prepared to answer him? Yes, no, maybe, maybe not. But maybe not is not a good option. There are complaints and grievances. You receive them on your grievance redressal portals. You need to answer them, and you're answering them. And I've been a service person all my life. Every complaint can help you build up your knowledge base. Now, whether you want to keep it in your mind on that software or make it a part of your day-to-day playbook, so that one person getting a complaint and learning from it, and the knowledge spreads to the entire organization. Handling incidents, escalations, and you would understand one of the ways to improvise on your playbooks. When you get an escalation, plug it in. Good, you have plugged in the escalation. What next? Make a part of your playbook which says these escalations handled like this. No, these scenarios handled like this, so that next time they don't get escalated. Important. All those would help avoid delays. Delays can itself be a privacy issue, right? So you need to be very careful about that. Every friction point is a trigger that can impact. What happens without a feedback loop? Without a feedback loop, I spoke of this earlier also, we are not learning. We are making the same mistakes again. Why are we even referring to playbooks, FAQs? They need to be very, very live. Best of the teams would start assuming I know everything. I don't need to recheck. And there they fail. They need to be live. Nothing going on in a progressive direction. Everything is working hunky-dory, assumably. Teams lose the trust, the escalations keep increasing, and the governance becomes a ceremony. Right? A dashboard has to be presented once in a month. That's it. Designing feedback into your system. Mature governance must capture all the outcomes of the decisions, log friction points, review patterns and not incidents, feed learnings back into the playbooks and systems. That is something which will help you build a very good governance system by increasing your learnings through your own mistakes. DPDP governance is important not only from the fact that it is a compliance issue also from the fact that it can damage your market reputation. Once a feedback loop is established, you will have fewer incidents, you will have faster decisions, you will have strong default settings, and very less dependence on escalations. Governance will always improve automatically. DPT governance is not something that you can just set up, it is something that you have to live with your teams every day. So that's about designing a feedback loop for DPDP governance. I hope you like the content of the video. Please press the bell and the like icon, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and share your feedback in the comment section. Thank you.